Morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. This morning we start off our discussions by talking about sport and youth development. And to have that conversation, we're talking to Lyndell Hoyte-Sanchez, who is the head of community sports company of Trinidad and Tobago, as well as Kennya Cordner, who is a national footballer and an I Choose Sport ambassador. So this morning we're talking I Choose Sport, which is a program that helps to develop young persons in the area of sport, but not only as athletes, but in different areas surrounding athletics. And as we talk more on this topic, Ms. Lyndell, just give us a little bit of a brief synopsis of what I Choose Sport does as you guys are here in Tobago, and what Tobago can look forward to from you.
Okay, so good morning again, everyone. Now, I Choose Sport is a program initiated from the Sport Company of Trinidad and Tobago. The Sport Company would have been mandated to get sports back in school. So I Choose Sport is really a call of action and a declaration with intent to increase sport participation and physical activities of individuals. This program would have been launched in 2024. The key idea, as I said, is to get individuals involved in sport, showcase sporting icons, so they will now give perfect examples of the challenges that they might have had, the issues they would have had, the benefits that can derive from sport. But the key thing is that we want individuals to choose sport as a viable option as a lifestyle. We also want to be able to, through the I Choose Sport program, develop holistic behaviors within individuals. So we're looking to develop better citizens, better performing athletes, and of course empowering communities and empowering individuals to be more positive and to lead more positive lifestyles. So that's kind of in a nutshell.
Excellent. And as I would have indicated before, it's not just about getting into athletics itself, but everything that surrounds that, whether it be sport therapy, coaching, all those areas are being covered. Talk to us a bit about that.
Correct. All the avenues that relate to sport. So more or less we're going to highlight careers that are available in sport, not just athletic pursuance, but persons in different areas that you can derive from scholarships. Now, we do have persons getting involved in sport. We have sport doctors, we have sport physios, we have psychologists, we have therapists. So it's a whole package where you be able to understand their various careers that can guide you. Now, you might not be an elite athlete, but you can transition into becoming maybe a manager, a lawyer. So all of these things, that all the other sporting careers that are linked to sport, and not just an athlete, as I said, but you have careers that surround sport. So you might be able to assist a sporting athlete. You have psychologists, you have therapists, as I mentioned, you have sport doctors, you have lawyers, so you have journalists, you have team managers, agents. So you have a wide range of careers that can be derived from sports. So even though, as I said, you're not an athlete, an elite athlete, you can still be involved in sport at different levels.
Exactly. You even have sport journalists.
Correct, as
exactly.
yourself.
Exactly.
Yes.
Or even a sport journalist here on Tobago Updates. But Ms. Cordner, talk to us. I mean, at one point in time, you were a student, you were in school, and you saw where certain things were lacking in regards to how students are directed into sports adequately. Tell us some of the gaps that you saw and how this I Choose Sport program is going to try to combat some of those gaps.
I think this I Choose Sports, is a wonderful initiative, whereas back in the days, as myself, we didn't have this type of stuff in school. And a lot of young men and young women don't understand what sports is really about, because sports is a powerful vehicle. It can take you places that some could only dream of. And it could be a pathway to further your education. And like myself, it was a platform for me to be financially stable and provide some stability for my family.
Excellent. And when you think about the type of guidance that young persons need at a crucial point in time, what time do you think is the best intervention period?
I could say at the age of 12, because at that age is where they are misguided a lot. And they really need someone there on their toes to guide them every single step of the way. Because as you see nowadays, the youths are going astray. And if sports is something that they decide to choose as a way out, I think the organizers and the people in sports should be on them, because, as I always say, for me, I did choose sports and it took me all over the world that I could see different things, and it allowed me now to come back here in Tobago to give back and share my experience.
Well, we as Tobagonians, we thank you for making sure to come back and give back. But we know that before you even get into the action of transformation, transformation is a mental thing. It happens in the mind first. And I'm guessing that's why you have other athletes like yourself who are coming not to just show what you have done, but to also speak into the lives of these young person and really show them the impact, not just from a financial level, but from a psychological, emotional, you know, a mental level. So talk to us about the importance of the mindset behind being a professional athlete and what part of that you are bringing as an ambassador.
The mindset is a powerful thing, because when you go outside, it's not like home. It's a lot of challenges that you face. So if you can't keep up out there, you're easily drawn into giving up. And that's where the mental part, not only in sports, but in life itself, comes in. So we as Trinbagonians, we tend to, when we leave here and things get hard on us, we decide to give up. But we have to remember that we have a family, we have people that look up to us, so we have to continue to keep going and work towards our dream. So the mental part in aspect of sport and life is really important.
So we're going to see you talking at the schools this week?
Of course, yes. Come this Friday at Speyside High.
Okay, excellent. And Miss Hoyte-Sanchez, talk to us about the actual school tour that we're going to see this week, because I know that you guys have a school tour that's happening from the 23rd to the 29th, which is actually today. So talk to us a bit about what the school tour will entail, and I know that you're going to 9 secondary schools.
Correct. Okay, so also what I've mentioned, part of the mandate under the I Choose Sport umbrella, we do have 2 segments. We have sport in schools, and we do have the community engagements. Now, with the sport in school, I just go back a little. We do a lot of we are in the primary schools, especially in Trinidad, where we do have athletic assistants there, developing the fundamental skills of the young school students. So basically we're looking at physical literacy to help to develop them, as Kennya said, from age 12, where they can now decide to select whatever sport they want to choose. So we are now developing the base, the fundamental base, run, jump, and throw, which can be found in all sporting disciplines. Now, within the Tobago space, we are going to all 9 secondary schools. The idea of the caravan, of course, is to expose individuals to the importance of sport. We do have the brand ambassadors that will be speaking to the students about experiences that they would have had, life experiences they would have had. Also, we do have some governing bodies, sporting governing bodies. We do have individuals signing up for a specific sport. We are here to help to guide them to develop their sporting aspirations. We going to encourage clubs to be there. We have governing bodies to be there, where persons who are interested in a particular sport, we can now sign them up for that particular sport and assist where we can to help them to develop further. So the key for us is more or less to develop a wider pool of individuals that we can choose from for national representation. So we're developing that wide pool for national selection. We're helping to develop clubs. We're helping to assist athletes. At the end of the day, we want better performing athletes at all levels.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah. And that's interesting, because my next question to you was going to be, when we already get the kids riled up and to get them excited about sport and everything that has to do with the success that can come out of that, what is next? And so you said you're bringing on the clubs and everything. Yes. For them. One of the challenges that a lot of clubs are having is proper tools and equipment to train the kids with, as well as the facilities. Now, I don't want to go out there and just throw things out there, but we know that for a long time, our Tobago athletes have been disadvantaged because of the level of the facilities that they have to train at compared to other athletes in other parts of the world, right? Not just in Trinidad. We have it Trinidad versus Tobago, but when we are training athletes, we're not training athletes to compete against their counterparts in Trinidad or in the region. We're training them to be global athletes. So what is the mandate in regards to raising the standard of the facilities and the type of partnerships that we're working towards to get that for the students, especially in Tobago here?
Okay, well, within the Tobago space, I will not speak about the Tobago space, but I think efforts are going to be made with the various entities where assistance can be given with, in preparation of facilities and maintenance of facilities. So we can only do our part with regards to having conversation with the relevant stakeholders and see how best they can assist us in developing those facilities for the athletes so they can have a safer space, a more convenient space, and of course a space that they can really perform their task without major injuries per se. Because I know the challenge, of course, will be unsafe spaces and spaces that are not suitable for a particular sport. So as I say, we can only liaise with the relevant stakeholders and see how far they can assist us. We will guide us as we can. We will also try to facilitate some of the clubs with supplying equipment where the needs be. Of course, we do the needs assessment and supply where the needs are with regards to their requirements for their development.
Excellent. So what about partnerships with maybe the Division of Community Development Sport? And because we now have a new secretary over there, we have Mr. Joel Nazi Sampson, a young man, very vibrant and also very interested in sport. So is it that you guys are providing grants and stuff that can assist with upgrading these facilities?
Right, I'm not too sure with the grants for the upgrade, and again, it's conversations that need to be had with those stakeholders to see how best fit it can happen. That would be something that the THE will have to agree to with regards to central government assisting with that part of the development. But outside of that, the clubs can apply for grants through the Ministry of Sport Community Development. They do have grant that they can assist clubs with. We have grants from the Sport and Culture Fund. NLCB also give grants for help development of sport and sporting clubs. So those are some areas that the clubs themselves can access if they would need particular assistance depending on their programs and whatever their tournaments. I know sometimes they do participate in tournaments, so that can assist with their programs and the development. But again, with regards to the THA's conversations we need to have so we can work together with regards to developing those necessary facilities.
Excellent. And maybe I could put a little plug there for when you guys have your sessions, that maybe you have an area where that is specific to funding and other opportunities for the clubs, not just to engage the students, but also that Tobagonians and the Tobago clubs are aware of the avenues for funding.
Correct.
Because I think that's a huge gap. It's not that it's not available, but the education on the availability of funding and tools and assistance is usually lacking. Let's talk about opportunities for international exposure for young athletes. Tell us what I Choose Sport has done or continues to do in order to provide avenues for that level of exposure.
Okay, so I Choose Sport work closely with the governing bodies, which are the national governing bodies. Now, when you're talking about international exposure and international tournaments, all of those things happen through the governing bodies. So you have the Trinidad and Tobago Netball Association, Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board, the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association. So those governing bodies are more or less the ones that guide for those international tournaments. So we do have programs where the governing bodies receive subsistence to assist with them with their development and to attend those international programs. So this is again where I Choose Sport will come in to assist the individuals in preparing them to get to that level of international stature.
Excellent. And maybe we would not have seen a case where we have organizations traveling outside and then wondering where they'd get money from to stay overnight had they known about the availability of this type of funding.
Yes.
But let me move over to you a bit here, Kennya. Why do you think it's important for parents also to get the students and their young kids engaged at this level with this I Choose Sport program?
Because it's a good initiative, and as young sportsmen and sportswomen, they need an idea as to how sports is really formulated and set up. And I Choose Sports can give you an idea, and I think parents should take that initiative to get their kids involved, to want to know more about their kids' sporting discipline.
Excellent. And as we wrap up, Ms. Hoyte-Sanchez, talk to us about what's happening in mid-June with I Choose Sport. What are you guys planning to do during the summertime in terms of camps, clubs, tournaments, sporting events?
All right. So as I did mention, the I Choose Sport umbrellas, we do have community engagement. We do have a community engagement plan for Tobago on the 15th of June at the Dwight York Stadium, where we're going to have all sporting disciplines come and showcase their talents and their identity. We will also be running mini tournaments in the desired sport. Of course, we're going to have stakeholder engagement, and of course the tournaments that are going to be happening on that day will depend on what the needs are from Tobago. So if Tobago tell us we think we're going to have football, we're going to run the football tournament for them on that particular day. But it's more or less of course for us to showcase new skills, new sports. So we're going to have new sports coming on board. Persons can come and try out for those new sports. We're going to have sign-ups where persons can sign up for a particular sport. The key to that is, of course, to highlight what I Choose Sport is, to let people understand what being involved in sport, how beneficial it is for them. And I heard you mention the importance of parents to Kenya. What we are also doing, we are also having discussions with parents. So we are in the stage now where we are planning to have meetings with parents through the school program. So we can educate the parents about the importance of their children becoming involved in physical activity and the sport. So again, it's something that Tobago has to look out for. On the 15th of June, we are going to be at the Dwight York Stadium, I Choose Sport Community Caravan.
Excellent. And as we talk about making sport cool, as we wrap up, making sport cool, what type of campaigns are you guys running online, and what type of partnerships are you having maybe with some of the popular influencers and all of that to really get youths engaged outside of the sports ambassadors? How are we utilizing everybody to get on deck to use their platform to get the youths really involved and encouraged?
All right, so the I Choose Sport brand is can be found on all social media platforms. We do have some influencers that are going to be coming on board. Of course, that's going to be highlighted soon. But if you would look on the roadways in Tobago, we do have I Choose Sport branded bus. So we are advertising in a big way. We are marketing in a big way. And there are things that we can look forward to. We do have also in August, on the 5th of August and the 23rd of August, we do have a sport camp. Again, that's going to be at Dwight York Stadium, where we're going to be doing 1 week of fundamental development and 2 weeks of sport specific. So there are things that we can be looking forward to with I Choose Sport. We are out there. We are here to ensure that persons understand how important sport is for life. We know persons involved in sport. Sport is discipline, sport is communication, it enhances your social life, it enhances your psychological. So sport is important to development. As I say, you don't have to become an elite athlete, but it will prepare you to be a better citizen.
Excellent, excellent. And sport is cool, so you should choose sport, right? So thank you, I Choose Sport, for coming on this morning and chatting with us. Guys, we're going to have a quick break and we'll be back right after this.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawn.